Let me start by saying this. I'm not sharing this because I've done everything right. I'm sharing this because I've done a lot of things wrong. I'm in my mid 40s working in the IT, in the manufacturing space. And over the years, I've learned that some lessons don't come from books or courses. They come from uncomfortable meetings, from saying the wrong things at the wrong time, and from slowly realizing that the effort alone it doesn't always protect you. I still get things wrong. I still am learning. But if there's one thing that I wish I understood earlier, it's about how work really works when people are involved. And that is why I want to talk about Satya Nadella. Satya didn't become CEO of Microsoft by pretending office politics didn't exist. He became CEO by understanding it better than most people and choosing not to fight it the wrong way. And if you're in your 40s and tired of politics but unable to escape it, the story matters more than ever. We like to believe that Satya rose purely because of talent. That is comforting. But inside a company the size of Microsoft, talent alone doesn't move you to the top. Understanding people, power, and timing does. And Satya understood that early. When Satya joined Microsoft, he wasn't the loudest engineer. He didn't dominate meetings. He didn't challenge people publicly to prove a point. And that's important because in office politics, how you make people feel matters as much as what you know. Satya made people feel heard, not threatened. If you're in your 40s, this might hit close to home. I've seen enough to know that being right doesn't always win. Being loud doesn't always help. And embarrassing the wrong person can quietly end your career. Satya never played game. Here's what he did instead. And listen deeply, not as a tactic, but as a habit. And in meetings, while others competed for airtime, Satya asked clarifying questions. Questions that help people to think, not questions that expose them. That's office politics, but the ethical kind. Satya understood that sometimes many of us learn late. Decisions are rarely made in meetings. They are shaped before meetings ever happen. In hallway conversations, in one-to-one check-ins, in trust that builds over time. Satya invested there quietly. And this is where mid-career professionals often struggle. We show up prepared. We speak when invited, and we deliver results. But we skip the informal conversations because they feel political, necessary, or exhausting. Satya didn't skip them. He used them to understand concerns before they became resistance. And another important truth, Satya never positioned himself as a threat. He didn't need to. He made his managers look good. He supported peers publicly, and he disagreed privately. And that's not weakness, that's survival. And eventually, influence. Now let's talk about power. Satya understood who had it and who didn't need to be challenged. He never ignored hierarchy. He didn't worship it either. He respected titles, but invested in relationships. And in large organizations, relationships outlast org charts. And here's the moment where office politics and leadership truly meet. When Satya was put in charge of cloud computing, this was a politically dangerous role. If cloud failed, he would be remembered as the person who bet wrong. And many leaders would protect themselves, and Satya didn't. But he also didn't grandstand. He kept leaders informed, he framed progress carefully, and he shared risks early. And that's politics, done responsibly. By the time Microsoft needed a new CEO, the board wasn't looking for the most brilliant speaker. They were looking for someone that people trusted. Leaders felt safe around, and teams didn't feel threatened by. And that doesn't happen accidentally. That's decades of political awareness without manipulation. If you're in your 40s and thinking, I don't have energy for politics anymore, I just want to do my job, I hate playing games. Satya's story should reassure you because he didn't play games. He played the long game. Office politics at this stage of your career isn't about scamming. It's about knowing when to speak, knowing when to stay quiet, knowing who needs reassurance, and knowing that perception shapes opportunity. And Satya mastered this calmly. Here's the shift. In your 20s, office politics feels unfair. In your 30s, it feels annoying. And in your 40s, it becomes necessary to understand, not to exploit, but to protect your work, your people, and your future. And Satya Nadella didn't rise because he avoided politics. He rose because he never let politics make him bitter. He stayed curious instead of defensive. He stayed human instead of territorial. He stayed patient instead of reactive. You don't need to outplay anyone. You don't need to become someone you don't respect. But you do need to stop pretending that good work alone is enough. Satya didn't. And that's why, when the moment arrived, he didn't need to campaign. He was already ready. If you like videos like this, remember to like, subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.